What's going on, guys? What's going on? Welcome to the Wise One Awaken podcast. I'm your host, Fritz, and I wanted to talk to you guys about current event things that are going right now in politics and is going on in the world, gender issues, and things like that. And conversation I wanted to bring up. I mean, I know it's gonna ruffle some feathers. Some people are gonna be upset about it, but what I wanted to talk about was the abortion issue, right? Um, I wanted to discuss this. I wanted to see what do you guys think, right? Because there's a lot of males that watch my YouTube channel, and I want to know you guys' input. Also, women too. I want to know you guys' input. I want to know is the abortion issue is strictly only women say so in this particular issue that's going on, right? I want to know is like do men have a say so in abortion, whether a woman can have an abortion or not, right? A lot of women will say no, majority, like probably 99.9% of women will say that no, men have no say so when it comes to their body. It's their body, their choice. So I wanted to discuss this particular issue because whether you like it or not, abortion affect both men and women. It does affect women more because at the end of the day, they want to have to go through that process. Whether they want to decide to keep the baby or not, they don't have to go through it. So, but men have to deal with it more in the emotion, not emotional, in the financial side aspect of it. Because typically, when women are getting an abortion or they decide to keep a baby, men usually will be responsible with financially either way, right? Because the woman might typically say, "Hey, no, you know what? I have to get that, but you don't have to pay for it." If you're a man, if you ever been in this particular situation, majority of the time the woman asks you to pay for whatever it is, whether it's a morning after pill or the pill that costs. There's different levels to it. If you're an older man, you pass, I would say, and if you pass your 20s, man, honestly, you probably been through that situation already. Let's just be honest with it. Most guys, you've been through that situation where, you've been with a woman and you guys weren't really like, in love or anything like that, but you got caught up in a situation. You got caught up in a situation, and you had to go see the doctor. So so a lot of men, like me, I have experience. I went through that, so that's what I'm able to have this conversation with you guys, right? So like, do men really have a say so in these things, right? Because they're all guys that want to keep the baby, right? I know of guys that say, "Hey, no, I don't want an abortion. I want you to keep the baby." So do that man have no say so? Because what will happen is if the woman decides to have the baby, the man is held financially responsible. That's what any woman gonna tell you. If you watch any YouTube videos or Instagram, as soon as they say, "Hey," women have their body, their choice. Women say, "Yep, I can do whatever I want. I can abort. I can drop the baby off at a fire station. I could drop it off at a hospital. I can put it up for adoptions." There are so many things that a woman can do if they don't decide not to keep their baby, right? They give them so many different options. But if you're a man, you decide to say, "Hey, I don't want this baby. I'm not ready for it. I'm not financially fit for it. I'm not emotionally, physically ready to have a child." Well, guess what they're gonna say? Nope. You decide to sleep with that woman. You could have wear, Jimmy. You could have done things, but you didn't. You decided late, so you're all responsible. And we'll show you something really fast if you don't want to go ahead and be responsible for this baby because you're gonna get on child support and you're gonna go to jail. You're going right to straight to jail. I'm telling you, that's what's gonna end up happening to you because you don't have the same right as women when it comes to abandoning your child or deleting the child. You don't have the same particularly right. So you have to be as men. You have to be careful. Then another side of this is right. Another side of dealing with this particular issue is, or they're promoting abortion. So Planned Parenthood in these places that do abortion get more customers, right? Or they backing these laws, right? Because you see like, oh, Planned Parenthood, go ahead and support this law so women could have their right, their body autonomy and all these things, or they pushing it for more customers. Because think about it. I mean, they need customers, right? Three, four, $500, $600 a pop. If right now women decide to go, you know what? I'm not gonna have sex until marriage, and if I'm gonna, I'm never. Women decided not gonna have no more abortions, right? Let's just say like right now you take out about a good 30% of abortion, they say, you know what, I'm gonna keep the baby. You decide to have this type of thing happen. Well, listen, man, Planned Parenthood, they're going down because they're gonna lose most of their customers, right? So I wanted people to look at it from that perspective, like not just men but women too. Look at it from like, hey, they're all pushing these things, because they want more customers. They want more customers in this particular case, right? And then another thing is, I think when it comes to abortions, that there is a pain emotional side of that too. After when women tend to get the abortion that they experience, right? They call it kind of like the ghost baby syndrome, right? So they get to think like, what would this baby be? Would it be? Like wonder how would that impact their life. So they begin to miss that. They become kind of like, some of them become depressed after an abortion. They got to kind of go through it. They regret. They live a life of regret because of that. It's not the end of the world for them, but they kind of like, damn, like, I wish, I changed that, or I did this, I did that. So that's what I wanted to say, guys. I want to talk about what say so do men have in these particular issues. Now, I'm not talking about as in law as in whole, like a pass a law that say this, but I think that the father should have a say so whether when it comes to a woman that is impregnated by the father. They should have a say so, right? Or they should have some rights for dads to say, hey, if they want to go ahead and relinquish their rights, without going in child support or without going to jail, they could say, hey, I don't want no parts of this, and I'm not financially fit. We should have Men should have a way out too. It's not, then the woman could decide to say, you know what, I'm gonna proceed to have this child, or I'm not, because the father say, hey, they don't want any part of it. They don't have to be. They're not being forced. Because what happened is when the woman decides to have the child, the state forced the father to say, we don't care what you got going on. You're gonna be in part of this. You're gonna be financially responsible for the kid. We don't care if you're in the kid's life, but you're gonna be financially responsible for the kid, or we're gonna put you in jail, or we're gonna just go ahead and dock whatever money we can from your job, right? So there should be some type of right, something put in place for men to say, hey, if we don't want to go ahead and have this kid, we can say, no, I don't want no rights. I don't want anything. Like, she can do whatever she want, and I can go ahead and move on with my life. It's not to say that men should go around and just getting chicken pregnant, doing the same thing. We're not saying that. Because at the end of the day, both men and women should protect themselves from this particular situation. But at the end of the day, we're all humans, so people are gonna do what they're gonna do. But you should put precaution in, so that way you won't be caught up in that particular situation. So that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. I mean, if you guys are more knowledgeable in the subject, let's talk about it, because I know a lot of people, y'all be coming for me in the comments. Oh no, what are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. Hey man, we're just having a discussion. This is my opinion. This is not a fact. I'm just having a discussion with you guys. So if you have any comments, whatever, let's talk about it. If I'm wrong somewhere, I'll go to research, I'll look it up. Let's have a discussion. I appreciate you guys. Again, like, share, and comment. Let's talk about it, man. Wise One Awaken podcast. We are here. Let's spit some information. Let's go,